Bryce Foster as your starting center? And what do you envision for Shane, even though that decision's been made?
What was the second part of the question?
Envision for Shane, even though that decision's been made.
What do I envision what?
For Shane Baumgartner.
How was the decision made, or how did he earn that spot? I think, like anybody does, his performance on a consistent basis just really proved that he was the better guy for the job. He does have some valuable experience at a high level, but Shane has valuable experience as well. But I think more than anything, just his ability to do the things that we need a center to do on a consistent basis. Being able to, he's a big, physical, strong guy, so he can handle a nose guard, lined up, head up, or in a shade on him. His pass protection really improved, not only from when he got here, but significantly from what I saw of his film last year. I just think he earned the job based on what he did really the last couple of weeks. I thought Shane had a really good start to camp, got banged up a little bit, which probably impacted him some, but that was about the same time Bryce really started to come on. Shane is a guy that could still, play for us, and the season is young, and I tell all of our guys, just because it starts this way doesn't mean it'll finish that way, and that could be due to performance or injury or any number of things. And he's a guy that could play guard as well, so we'll work him there too.
Can you talk a little about the tight end battle and Jared Casey winning the job?
Yeah, he was really the leader from day one. Felt like Trevor did some good things. Another guy that's been banged up, and him missing some time off and on, really from the time I got here all the way up until about a week or 10 days ago, just trying to manage his knee. I think probably impacted him to some extent, but I don't want that to take away from what Jared did. I think Jared clearly our best tight end. Some things he does better than others, and so we'll manage that in a couple of ways. One is we'll do things as an offense that play to his strengths a little bit more. When you have a guy like him as opposed to a guy like Mason, who is your primary tight end in 11, it changes how you use that guy a little bit. But then we do have other guys who will play in those other spots. And so I think between right now, going into this game, between him and Trevor and Leighton Cure, we've got three guys who I feel good about going in and being able to do different things for us in different personnel groups.
With Daryl Simmons, particularly after he had a good fall camp, just how do you balance getting him opportunities to rotate in versus ensuring you got your two best guards on the field a lot of the time?
Say that again in relationship to the second part of your question. How do I balance his performance?
Getting him in time to time, given that he's doing well for you guys, versus making sure you got your two best guards.
I see. Well, I'd say just like I said with Shane, hopefully anybody that doesn't win a starting job is motivated to continue to work and prove themselves. Usually it goes one way or the other. Sometimes it's motivating. Sometimes it impacts the guy in a negative fashion. He loses hope, loses confidence. And we're going to do everything we can for that not to be the case with him or Shane or any of the other guys. We have talked about, discussed rotating linemen some, but we haven't decided what we're actually going to do there yet. And we've talked about it at more than one position.
I'm curious with Lindenwood, what have you seen from their defense on tape?
Very sound, the type of group that is going to do what they do. They have a very clear philosophy on how they're going to play defense, and their players understand the scheme and are where they're supposed to be, which I think should be the starting point for any defense. Typically, my experience, the defenses like that are harder to pull off big plays against because people are in their gaps and people are in their zones and coverage. They understand who they're responsible for. Some big guys in the defensive line, really big defensive tackles, linebackers, very active, play a physical brand of football. And I think it'll be a team that'll know where to line up, and I think the challenge always is in game one for us to kind of see what that looks like in relation to how we've prepared, and can we do the same thing? Do we know how to play our style of football against another group that I think will?
I know we talked about it a few times in here, just Bryce moving to left tackle, Logan being at right. For you guys, why was that the final decision of where those guys settled, and what do those conversations look like?
Most of the conversation is with me and Daryl. Lance was certainly involved in those discussions too, but Daryl and I, on a probably almost daily, maybe not daily process, but just watching what those guys do, and I think it was something that we wanted to give Bryce the opportunity to do, and I think he wanted that opportunity to show that he could do that. The position that is often the premier spot from a perception standpoint. However, they do rush off both sides of the line last time I checked, and so sometimes it's just finding a comfort level. Some guys are just a little bit more comfortable playing on one side over the other, and you're talking about two guys who've got some wear on their body and have a couple of injuries that they're dealing with. And I would say they both just look a little bit more comfortable on opposite sides. I would say it's probably been a little bit more of a challenge with Bryce to get comfortable playing there because he's had so much experience on the right side. But I think he's getting close. And Logan is probably the guy that I would say I'm most impressed with, probably shown the most improvement of anybody on our team this fall.
In terms of Bryce getting comfortable on the left, just how much can game experience help him with that? As compared to just doing it
for a guy that's played that much, I don't know how much game experience is going to matter. I think for him, it's just getting reps, playing on that left side and getting comfortable doing it. I think he's a guy that's going to be comfortable playing in games because he's played in a lot of games.
Anything else for Coach?
Good? All right, guys. You have a good day.